All right, here we are, and today we are talking about Scarlet Witch because we know I had to make a video about Scarlet Witch because I'm physically incapable of not talking about her on a daily basis. So, the love of my life was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and her first appearance was in the X-Men #4 in March of 1964. She is Magneto's daughter. Yes, I realize that they retconned this a few years ago, but as it was a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it. Her and her twin, Quicksilver, are Magneto's children. She, at various points in her comic book solo stories, has married Vision and has two sons, Thomas and William, who we are reportedly seeing in WandaVision, which I'm very excited about. Well, I am excitedly optimistic, but skeptical because the same writer of Captain Marvel is going to be the writer for WandaVision, and she did not have a firm grasp on Captain Marvel, so if she screws up my favorite character, I'm going to be a little bit pissed off. The biggest storylines that people know Scarlet Witch for are House of M and X-Men vs. Avengers, in which, respectively, she erases most of the mutant population by simply saying the words "no more mutants," and in Avengers vs. X-Men she banishes Phoenix Force by saying "no more Phoenix." These are two very, very good examples of her powers, and we'll get there. But people seem to forget that even when her powers were ill-defined and the best definition we could get out of the writers was hex magic, she was still pretty badass. She defeated Dormammu using the ancient eye or the Evil Eye artifact in 1974. She blew up the gas main under the lair of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in 1976. And these were very specific events. She did them with her mind, guys. She has always been this badass. She's always been this powerful. They just expanded the definition of her powers. If you just say hex magic, no one knows what it means, which basically meant they could do whatever they wanted with her, and they did. People forget how awesome she was at the beginning. I'll defend my girl to the death. Anyway, in the MCU, Hawkeye kind of plays this older brother, father figure role for her. But in the comics, there was actually a love triangle between her and Vision, and Wonder Man and her and Vision. She's very popular. Her other major storylines include Avengers Disassembled, Young Avengers, Avengers the Children's Crusade, in which Thomas and William try to track her down and find her. And we've already gone over House of M and Avengers vs. X-Men. She was a regular character in the Uncanny and blah 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 blah. She was a regular character in the Uncanny Avengers, and eventually went on to take over the West Coast Avengers from Hawkeye and became their leader. She's perfect. It's fine. So we've gone over her powers that were originally defined as hex magic, and though there was never a clear definition as to what she could do, even in the 70s, she was super badass. So hex magic, the best definition we could get of what that meant was affecting probabilities, and making things swing her way. Sound familiar? Domino. But, oh, I lied. I'm sorry. Nope. Evil Eye artifact. I said 74. It was 73. Sorry. And in 1977, she takes down Jocasta and Ultron by short-circuiting him. With her mind, guys. With her mind. This woman does things with intention, and that's all it takes. I have an article that lists a few more examples. I'll link it in the description. But most recently in the MCU, where my sweet precious baby got to express her power, was in Endgame, when we saw her rip Thanos apart cell by cell to the point where he was willing to sacrifice literally all of his own troops to get her away from him. He could not touch her. She was amazing. And the best part about that display in that scene was, in the comic books, much like Jean Grey, her powers and the intensity and scope of her powers is directly linked to her mental and emotional instability. So the whole "you took everything from me, I don't even know who you are, you will," she was very broken up about Vision, and she felt like she had lost the love of her life, and that is what unlocked the next level of her power, which is comic book accurate, and I love it. The most important scene for me in that, or the most important part of that scene for me, was the hope that they were going to be more comic book accurate with her character, and in taking her character where she needs to go. She is severely watered down in the MCU. You thought she was powerful in the MCU, because in the MCU she is. And I have strict MCU evidence as to why she's the most powerful Avenger, and I have strict comic book evidence as to why she's the most powerful Avenger. But even so, she's severely watered down in the MCU, as are most of our characters. So is Doctor Strange, so is the Hulk, so is Thor, so was Thanos, for that matter. I get it. But with her getting her own series with WandaVision, we know we're getting her children, which means we are unlocking some of that crazy energy and crazy power that she has, because obviously she can't have children, at least not with Vision, which is where Thomas and William came from. She created them out of thin air, which brings us to her reality warping abilities. Not just reality warping, but reality creating abilities. So it looks like we're going to get some very messed up version of the House of M between WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2. She's resurrecting Vision is one option. The other option is she's just gone fucking crazy. And the entire series is happening in her head. But there's also been rumors that she's resurrecting Quicksilver, which happened... No, she resurrected Vision twice. Quicksilver 3 times in the comics. One of them being in House of M, which is why I'm kind of connecting that. And her children are also what save her in House of M. So all of the pieces are kind of adding up. We obviously don't have the amount of mutants necessary in the MCU to do House of M the way it deserves to be done. If they were actually going to do House of M, it would have to be the next 10-year build, because they'd have to bring in all these mutants and establish this relationship and retcon back in that Magneto is her father, which is really not that hard, guys. Their Sokovian parents could have adopted them. It's not difficult. They can fix that so easily. Do I have faith that they will? No, but they could. As a screenwriter, it's not that fucking hard. It would take one line. One. Very short conversation. 10 seconds. Not difficult. So, her resurrection powers, reality creating, reality warping. We've seen the mind control. We've seen the energy manipulation. We've seen her strength. We've seen... She's the most powerful one, guys. I don't care. I will fight everyone forever. Let's go back to House of M real quick. So basically, the entire lead up to House of M was that both Doctor Strange and Professor X together could not contain her power. Emma Frost's solution, this dumb bitch, wanted to kill her. They couldn't contain her power, but they thought that they could kill her. That's so cute. Quicksilver, upon hearing this, goes to the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants' lair and warns Scarlet Witch that this is what they're planning. Magneto basically says, fuck that. Hey, create a different universe where we rule over them. So that's basically what happened, is the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants was ruling over the rest of the mutant population as well as the human population. And everyone was, but because she's a sweet, adorable angel, everyone was kind of living their ideal version of life. And then this 2 different bands of mutants realize that there was something wrong. They go attack the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Quicksilver dies. Quicksilver dies because Magneto killed him. I'm sorry, that's a really important part. She brings him back to life. Hawkeye goes to kill and Emma goes to confront Scarlet Witch. She is then under attack because they feel that she can't control her powers. Her children come and save her. They're already in the room. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you super details. Go read the storyline. Her children save her. Hawkeye dies again. Dies. Hawkeye dies at least 3 times in the comics. Everyone does. This is how this works. It snaps back, and at the end of House of M, it sets up for Phoenix Force. All of these storylines are intertwined. Avengers versus X-Men. She helps banish Phoenix Force, who is taking over, whose host is not Jean Grey, which doesn't matter. What people don't seem to understand about Phoenix Force is it's an entity onto itself. Its power does not diminish or change at all based on who the host is. So, when I say that Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Dark Phoenix, that's a fact. When I say that her powers can match up to Phoenix Force's, she can't kill the Phoenix Force, but she did banish it with her words. I think people seem to lose the fact that she didn't try that hard. She focused, she closed her eyes, and she said, "No more Phoenix." And then, there was no more Phoenix. Okay, sorry. I get very passionate about Scarlet Witch. You should see my internet arguments that I have. Okay. And now we are going to basically go through a review of the articles that I have written and the internet arguments that I've had. First matchup that people love to throw out there is Scarlet Witch versus Doctor Strange. Look. Yes, Doctor Strange is Sorcerer Supreme, but let's just bring in both MCU and comics here. I'll argue both. Comics first. Scarlet Witch would have been chosen for Sorceress Supreme had her mental health been a little bit stable. Doctor Strange is not the only one that meets the qualifications to be Sorceress Supreme, and Sorceress Supreme doesn't necessarily mean the most powerful being ever. It's exactly not what that means. Second of all, Chthon needed a vessel on Earth, a literal god. One of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe needed someone strong enough to contain him on Earth. Who did he choose? Scarlet Witch. Okay, next. Doctor Strange is very powerful, especially when he has the Time Stone. If he doesn't have this Time Stone, sorry, not nearly as powerful as you think he is. And again, let's go back to House of M. One of the reasons this happened is because Doctor Strange, with help from Professor X, could not contain her power. That's dead giveaway. He is not nearly as powerful as she is. So let's argue just the MCU now. The one people love to bring up is, well, he has control over his powers. One more time, control does not mean more powerful. In fact, it means not as powerful in this case and in the... Okay, sorry. Again, in the case of both Jean Grey's Dark Phoenix and Scarlet Witch, the intensity and scope of their powers is directly tied to their emotional and mental instability, which means the less they control their powers, the more powerful they are. So control means nothing. Alright, next one that I threw out there, Captain Marvel versus Scarlet Witch, because pre-Captain Marvel, Kevin Feige said the words, Captain Marvel's going to be the most overpowered hero we've ever had in the MCU. They have yet to show us that, and I truly believe in my soul that this was something he said simply to hype up her movie, because that's not what they wrote. That is not what they've shown us so far. What they've shown us so far is Scarlet Witch could kick her ass if she really, really wanted to. Because after Endgame came out, he also said the words, Scarlet Witch is the only superhero that could have single-handedly killed Thanos. So if that's true, she's obviously more powerful than Captain Marvel. Otherwise, he would have said both Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch could have killed Thanos. But he didn't say that. He said Scarlet Witch was the only one. So, Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Captain Marvel. MCU. Done. Comics. Captain Marvel. I know this is going to be a culture shock for some of you because clearly the writers of Captain Marvel have never read a Captain Marvel comic book. But she cannot go binary just whenever she wants. It's not a thing. She goes binary once every few years. She holds it for not very long. And when she comes off of it, she's rendered pretty much completely useless, sometimes without her memory for months or years, because that's a lot of power to hold at one time, and you cannot have that much power without consequences. The consequences of Jean and Scarlet Witch is that they have very little control and no emotional or mental stability. The consequences of Captain Marvel going binary is it wipes her out. You cannot hold that level of power without consequences. Second of all, she is very prone to mind control, which we've already established is one of Scarlet Witch's powers. Third, she has no defense against magic of any kind, which is where Scarlet Witch's powers are rooted from. So she wouldn't even have a chance to get near my baby girl. Scarlet Witch theoretically could mind control Carol into doing whatever the fuck she wanted. And 3, she could, including making her go binary long enough to wipe her out and then kicking her ass that way. But if you have no magic defenses, you can't fight someone whose powers come from magic origin. And considering that that's kind of the direction the MCU is going, bringing in more magic-based heroes and villains eventually, not sure how awesome Captain Marvel's gonna be at that. Phoenix. Okay, we've already touched on this. She could kick Jean Grey's ass, no problem. Sorry, Jean Grey and Dark Phoenix. Their powers are similar, but Dark Phoenix is more of a chaotic force in the sense that there's a lot of raw power, but there's not a lot of things she can do with that power. Scarlet Witch has more specific abilities. But their powers are very similar. Scarlet Witch has if you just put Scarlet Witch's feats in one column, comic book wise, and Dark Phoenix's in another, Scarlet Witch is going to win. Hers are just more impressive. Hers are just more powerful. Sorry, that's how it works. However, Phoenix Force, I wouldn't say Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Phoenix Force unless she could kill it, and she can't. She can banish it. So, I'll give that one to Phoenix Force. But, again, that's an entity unto itself and is not specifically tied to Jean Grey. If it was just Jean Grey versus Wanda, Wanda would kick her ass. Read a comic book. Alright, this is the longest video so far because I can't contain my love for Scarlet Witch. There will be plenty more videos after WandaVision finally releases. Everything's been put on hold as far as production because of the coronavirus, which I'm very disappointed about, but maybe it'll give them time to sit with the scripts and make sure this is really what they want to do. I am very concerned about it. I am. Because, again, Captain Marvel had me for, like, the first hour. I didn't hate it. The CGI looked like it was made in the 90s, and just because it was set in the 90s doesn't mean it had to look like that. And then the last half hour, they just lost me. Because, again, she cannot go binary just whenever she wants. That's not how this works. It wasn't quite Dark Phoenix bad, but it was not good. Alright, so the next one is going to be on Secret Invasion and Secret War, as those are things that were set up in the MCU. So that's where we'll go next. There might be an article accompanying it. I haven't decided yet. So yeah. Have a good day, you guys. Remember that Marvel trivia is happening Friday at 4 p.m. Okay. Bye.